Good morning. I'm alive. Hooray. It is I, Becca Lori Hector, here with Growing Gratitude. You guys, I don't know if you can tell. I'm trying. I want to be able to fix this a little bit. Oh, that's a little better. Um, it's so hard. Okay. I can only do so much today. I'm trying to find like an appropriate angle for the camera, you guys. I am not in good shape right now. I don't know if you can tell, but I am not in my spot. I'm close. See, there's Miller. He's in my spot. That's usually where I sit in my corner. But I am not there this morning because I hurt my back. And so I am sitting here like in an uncomfortable, weird position as I've been on my couch for the last couple of days because I mysteriously hurt my back. And I want to talk about it for a second because I need to vent. So I know that I've had a history of like hurting myself in weird ways, and there was never really kind of an injury or anything like that that anyone could see, that kind of thing. And I just kind of got used to it as another part of my kind of, I don't know, uh, my reality being invalidated, right? That kind of thing. But I recently have had some issues with my stomach, if you remember a while back, and I was trying for a while to figure out kind of what was going on with that and could I understand it. And in the process of that, I sort of had an awakening about Ehlers-Danlos syndrome or EDS. And so that's really, it's a common co-occur for those of us on the spectrum. I'm going to fidget one more time with the camera because I feel like I just have a double chin constantly. Is that terrible? Can I? Anyway, um, so um, yes, so that's sort of an awakening for me, and I think that some of my gastro issues are actually related to it. And because we know it's genetic, it's also a kind of issue that my mom used to have when I think back on it with her back, and she's had a couple of back operations and things like that. So I realized that I am prone to sort of slipping a disc or pinching a nerve here and there. Sometimes, like what I thought was normal functioning of the hips turns out I think I subluxate or sublux with my hips and things like that, and my ankles, weird places. Um, and so I weirdly think that now I played elimination for the last few days. Like, how did I hurt my back? I don't even really remember doing anything out of the ordinary or sitting someplace weird or anything like that. And I think that's part of that whole awareness that it might be EDS because I really didn't do anything out of the norm to exacerbate this whole situation. And so I have to sit back, otherwise the sun comes right in my face. Um, so yeah, I think maybe I coughed or sneezed or sat wrong somewhere at some point. And now it just feels like for the last couple of days that I have like a pinched nerve or a disc is out of place or whatever. And it's been really uncomfortable. And it's made me really cranky and all of the things that go along with kind of having pain for a continuous period. But nonetheless, I just needed to tell you that big long story to explain to you why I'm sort of sitting here in this most sort of unattractive position almost, and at this weird angle with the weird pillows behind me and all of that stupid stuff. But that's why I'm sitting here. And I'm actually in the least amount of pain I've been in quite some time, in the last, since it started acting up. Right now. And so I don't want to do anything to sort of mess it up because I'm supposed to go work at the vet tomorrow, which if I'm still feeling like this, I think I'll probably have to call out because what use am I? I can't really move. I can't even sit in my own spot. That's how I feel right now. And that's kind of where I'm right. CV said even sleeping can do it. And that's how I feel. I feel like I did nothing and was just in all of this pain. So I'm finally having some relief from it today. And I'm just trying to figure out what to do about tomorrow. So that's what's going on in the back of my head and in my reality as I sit here with Sunday hair don't care and cat hair don't care and all of that other stuff. But in the meantime, let's see if we can't get through gratitude because no matter how painful or difficult or challenging my week is, excuse me, I know there are always things that I have to be grateful for. And so with the few spoons that I do have, let's see if we can't talk a little bit about gratitude. And I made myself some notes like 5 minutes ago because there were a few things I wanted to make sure that I talk about. So Here we go. Let me open it. Okay, so first, right, I've had a really challenging week, and I feel like this is week 6 or so of feeling like that, and it's just my reality right now with running my business and running Antonia, helping Antonia run that business, and that business having employees and things like that. Always a cat hair. And so I've just had a really frustrating week this week. Both of us have. Where have you ever had a week where a couple of days of the week you felt like, you know what, I should have just stayed in bed. Nothing I did today helped to move myself forward, helped to fix things around me, helped to rest, helped to do nothing. It was like a whole day of slamming your head against the wall. And so I've had a couple of days like that this week, and they've been really challenging. And so I really had to kind of think about what was going on between my back and sort of just feeling spread really thin. That's how I felt for the last few days, spread thin. And so with all of that going on, I realized kind of maybe I need to change up my morning routine. Maybe I need to change up my night routine. I've just been consistently meh for whatever, and because of that, I sort of feel like something needs to shift up. I also have been sitting in the seasonal affective disorder or seasonal depression place for since like November, December, right? And it usually ends for me somewhere in February or early March. And so the ending is coming, but the very tail end of it is I'm so tired, you guys. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired of feeling cranky. I'm tired of just, you know, having to push myself to find the positive all the time. And that's partly because of my biochemistry right now. It's not all having to do with autism or all having to do with what's going on in my life. Some of it is very obviously biochemical, right? And so I can't wait for that to be over. My first gratitude is that it's almost February, which means it's almost over and I'm almost out the other side for this year. And so challenging as it is, I will push on. And I'll continue to push through the 7 layers of Jello until the sun is out more and I start to feel better and all of those things. Okay, hooray for that. What else? Oh yeah. Okay. So this week, one of the great things that happened is you might have noticed that I wasn't there on Wednesday to do Being Back Alive, and that I put a post out that there isn't going to be a Being Back Alive because I was doing something for myself. I was doing my yearly birthday tattoo. So something that is very self-oriented that I have always really kind of been attracted to and enjoyed is the art of tattoos, right? And then when I was old enough to finally start getting them, I couldn't wait. And so it's just something that I really enjoy. And so for my birthday, usually every year or so, when I can afford it, I get myself a tattoo. And this year, and also I want to say my birthday is in April, but at that time of year I'm usually in t-shirts all the time, and so my skin, especially on my arms, is exposed to the sunshine all the time. And when you get tattoos, that's not an ideal healing situation. So what I do is I get my birthday tattoo a couple months earlier in January or February, because then it allows it to heal before I really am always putting my skin in the sun. So a little bit of prep, a little bit of planning, and that's how it usually rolls out. And this year, I called the tattoo person that helped me to do last year's tattoo, which was the resilience tattoo here. And she was crazy booked. And so she recommended somebody else in the shop that I go to, and I met with him, and he was fantastic. And I enjoyed my tattoo session with him so much this time around that I think he's my guy. So I had a tattoo artist in New York who I went to religiously for all of my tattoos. And of course, when I moved here to Colorado, I've been searching for somebody else since I got here. And it's not just about their ability to do a tattoo, which is part of it. The other parts I have to consider are the shop in which they tattoo and what that is like, because some of them are super like warehousey and they put a whole bunch of tables in a big room, and it's just like a multitude of machines happening at the same time and people's conversations happening at the same time. And it's usually big overhead lights. And so I look for something that's a little more intimate than that, because the lighting is usually better for me to sit in over a long period, right? And it's usually quieter overall and that kind of thing. And so I love the tattoo shop that I found last year, and I really loved the tattoo artist this year because it was easy. Like our conversation was easy. There were times of quiet that was fine. His choice in music was great. All of those things. And so I'm excited to say that I think that I have found my Colorado tattoo artist, which is exciting because even though I don't have that much space left and that many tattoos that I want to get, it's still nice to know that if I do come up with one or I do want one, that I know who I want to go to, and that's fun. So I did get my tattoo this week on Wednesday while I was not doing Being Back Alive, and you guys were watching old episodes, and I was going to do this really cool thing, and film pieces of it and parts of it, and then sort of upload it all kind of chunked together for you guys instead of being Becca. But what happened is we had awful weather that morning, like awful, super duper foggy, really scary driving. And I didn't feel comfortable trying to film while I was driving when the weather was like that and all of this other stuff. And so I let it go. I'll have another opportunity to do something cool like that, but I had to let it go for this time. Just wasn't safe to kind of do that thing. And so I will reveal to you guys, it is still wrapped, so it's not going to look stupid clear right now, but I'll try to give you. So it's a hissing cat is what it is. And that is going to be, I think, my last tattoo on this arm. And it was painful, and packing black, just so that you know, is really uncomfortable and painful. And there was a lot of black to do, obviously. But I love it so much. And I'm so excited that I did it. And I'm excited that I'm sort of done with this arm. I know what I want for this arm. I have this nice blank space. Look at you guys. Look how naked this arm is. It's so naked. And I know what I want to put there for next year, or if I can't wait that long, maybe October. And then I might just be done with this arm. I will tell you guys, the older that I'm getting, the more sensitive my skin is, and the harder it is to sit for big tattoos. So the one that I put on this arm is going to be my last one. I can definitely tell you that. Or my last big one, you know what I mean? But anyway, so that's one of my gratitudes was for that whole experience, for having found someone I really enjoyed being tattooed by, that I could trust, all of these things in a shop that I enjoy, and all of that stuff, which is super duper exciting for me. And it was nice to have a day to myself where I literally could not physically do anything but be in the moment. And that was dope. I always love days like that. That's really refreshing to me. Also this week, so Becca in the World of Research continues as I'm learning, and I'm having to take all these, ethical training courses and things so that I can do the research and all the things that all of the organizations and hoops and bureaucracy and all of that other shit, right? I am looking forward to sort of getting into it. And this week I got into it a little bit. We had a meeting, and obviously nobody does research by themselves. You usually work as a team. And so as a team, we had a meeting with another team this week that I can't even tell you how excited I am about the idea. So many people are interested in the quality of life research, or have done pieces or parts of it, or have asked themselves those same questions and have material sitting around, that I have a feeling that this research is going to become my dream, which is a gigantic collaboration, right? All of the best of us who are doing research, working together with our best allies in the best situation. And of course, it's my big plan of what's rolling out with that research, is going to take, a couple of years, and it's going to take some more rounds of funding. I'm not going to be done with it after this one funding, right? So there's going to be chances to loop people in at different parts of the phases, and everybody's just excited to work on it in this way. And I'm excited to sort of be involved in it with these people. And when you are doing something that is in alignment with who you are, what you want to do, what you want out of the future, and all of those things, it gets exciting when you have those meetings, and the excitement is palpable, and it's, a meeting full of smiles and excitement and people talking over each other and taking notes, and I'll email you this and blah, 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 blah. And I had that kind of meeting this week about the research, and I wish I could share more details of it, but I can't. Some of it's not mine to share, and others of it is, still playing out. When I can share stuff with you guys in more detail and specifics, of course I will. But that's kind of what was going on for me this week. And so that gave me a little zippity doo-dah in my step for a day. And I was excited about that piece. What else? Let's see, other big things. Oh, so I had shared with you guys that I got a book contract, and I'm learning, I've worked with publishers before, but not in this one-on-one context. I was always part of a group of authors. And so it's very much my ship to lead right now in terms of the book and how fast I turn it in and in what order and how I get it done and all of those things. And so I met with one of my editors this week who's really going to be helping me through this part of the process. And I love her. Excuse me, I love her. Can we just talk about it? First of all, she's another Rebecca, so yay. But also, she is fantastic. She was like, I will be direct with you if you want me to be, blah, 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 all of these things. And because I also do some editing, we were able to have sort of an editor to editor conversation about how to attack the project, the things that I felt comfortable with as a writer. And I got to tell you guys, she just kept saying, like, that's my job. That's my job. Just throw it to me. You just have to write. And you guys, I haven't had the freedom to just write anything, I don't think, ever. And so it's like a little present. Like all I have to do is sit down and write. I don't even have to edit it if I don't want to. I can just send it on like that, but I wouldn't, of course, because I'm a writer and I'm autistic and I'd never do that. But like, I don't have to do the heavy carries of getting it published and getting it placed and what photo goes with it and all of these other things. And this week she sent me, not only did we have a one-on-one meeting, which was awesome, and that we got to know each other and kind of how we could talk to each other, how to, communicate with each other, and the stuff that what's hers, what's mine, that kind of thing. It was great. A really fruitful, like productive half-hour meeting, which are my favorites. And then, oh man, the dogs are gonna freak out. There's a squirrel outside making squirrel noises, and all right, Walter, quiet. And they are crazy. Not good. Quiet, please. Quiet. Thank you. Gussie, quiet, please. Oh, I thought maybe today we could get through it. Of course. Gus, come. Leave it. Leave it. Thank you. Okay. So, that's sort of where I've kind of, what was I talking about? I don't remember anymore. Oh, working with people you love and making forward and getting excited and all of that stuff. So that was great. Really just like exciting and really kind of electrified me, because that morning was a morning of everything going wrong where I should have stayed in bed, to the point where 2 minutes before the meeting, my computer was giving me the blue screen of death. I just want to tell you that. But then look, it turned around, and working with people you enjoy working with and creating stuff or making things move forward that is in alignment with the life you're creating and all of that stuff, there is nothing that can energize you more than that. So after that meeting, I was all like boop-a-doo, and I kind of made the most of my day, which was great, because that was a great one. So I'm grateful for amazing collaborators, grateful for the opportunity to collaborate, grateful for like-minded people out there, and all of that stuff, because like begets like, and we all know how I feel about that. Let's see, what else do we have going on? Oh, I was talking about my super duper editor. That's what I was talking about. And yeah, so she's amazing, and I will say that, and I'm excited to just write. It'll be fun, and I'm looking forward to it. Gussie, leave it. And let's see. Okay, then I've been struggling with some other things kind of behind the scenes here in life, and it's not anything new. It's stuff that we've talked about before and blah, 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 blah. But I've been really, really struggling with the house cleaning situation. And now that I have the book contract, and now that I have the research funding, and a few other things are sort of coming to the forefront, I really don't have the spoons to clean, man. I just don't have it in me. And yet I'm also simultaneously grossed out and depressed by the state of affairs in Denmark, in my bathroom and kitchen and all of that stuff. And so I finally had to have like a really serious conversation with Antonio. Like, I can't live like this. You can't live like this. It's gross. It's sad. It's all of those things. And literally, we cannot invent any more time in our lives to do it, or the energy to do it, because he's managing over there and over there all the time. And I'm here trying to keep everything afloat over here. So we finally agreed that we could ask one of our neighbors for some help to clean the bathrooms and kitchens and stuff like that. And I am so grateful for that. I can't even tell you. I have a pit in my stomach thinking about it, like thinking about what I know my house looks like right now, just a pit in my stomach. And I hate that feeling. It doesn't allow me to relax, and it doesn't allow my mental health to be well. And so I'm excited to be kind of moving forward on that. That was big excitement for me, that I finally just said, I can't. You got to give on this one because I need help. It's too much. And so, yay, that's going to be happening. And the other piece of that, I'm so tired, it's too much, everything's a mess, is the dogs. So the dogs do not need to be bathed a lot. And we live up in the mountains, and so they really don't need to be bathed a lot. And they don't get into like the kind of dirty things you need to get off of them in the city. Like they don't step in oil or antifreeze or whatever. I mean, they're out here in the woods. And so bathing them is not necessarily a priority from their health aspect, but at least a couple of Penny and Gus, leave it, leave it, leave it. And so, they only need to be cared for like that, like a couple of times a year, 3 times a year. And so they really need a bath. And that's fine with Miss Fiona, except with everyone except Miss Fiona, right? So Walter doesn't mind a bath. Gus doesn't mind a bath. He's not a fan. Neither does Penny. They don't love it, but they don't mind it, and we can do it no problem. Miss Fiona and her big self is really anti us doing this. Like, she will not allow me to clip her claws at home. She won't allow us to get her into a bath or the shower or anything. But the minute I put her in a different scenario, right? So if I put her at the vet's office for a claw clip, or I take her somewhere else to be bathed, all she wants to do, Gus, leave it. All she wants to do is be a good girl and let people do what they have to do. So I asked Antonio if it was okay that we finally take Fiona to a groomer, because she needs a bath. It's gross. And she's not going to let us do it at home. That's fact. And she's too big to fight about it, right? I can't just pick her up and go, Guster, come here and leave it right now. Gus, leave it. I mean it. Just trying to get through here. And then I'll put you out there. Okay. So, having said all that, Antonio also agreed to let me ask for that help and schedule Fiona to the groomer for this week, because we can bathe all the other dogs, but someone's going to get hurt trying to fight with her to get into a bath. So if we put her in a scenario where she's not at home and she can't really get away with murder, and there is proper bathing stuff for her, it'll just be over faster and less stressful for everybody. So we're going to do that. And I'm really, really proud of myself for just saying, that's it. I really need the help with this. I have to outsource some of this stuff because I just can't. At least at this time, I mean, at some point I may take it back, right? But at this point, I really need the help, and I really had to admit that I was at my wit's end with all of it. So I'm proud of myself for kind of really saying that out loud. It was hard to say and hard to admit, and I hate that. And a little bit embarrassing that I've let my house get this messy too. Anyway, so I'm grateful for all of that stuff that got me through this week, because there was some really cool stuff that happened this week, even though there were also some like stupid challenging things this week, crazy challenging things this week, just really. And so because of all of that, I am grateful. And because of all of that, I am looking forward to a new week, because I know this will pass, and I know it will get better, and I know all of those things. And I do have things to be grateful for, even in just the middle of all of this, what feels like chaos to me. So hopefully it will get better, and hopefully the sum of the things that I have kind of made changes about will help this overall feeling. And of course, the days will get longer and the nights will get shorter, and that will also help, of course, to shift some of my biochemistry, which I can't do anything about. Let's see. CV said, I can feel your excitement. It sounds amazing being able to just be in the flow of writing and allowing another to support the editing. I know it does. I'm really excited to just write. It's such a privilege to just write that I can't even tell you. So I'm excited for that. So thank you. Yes. And with that, that is sort of the end of my gratitudes for this week. And before these dogs make me an insane person, I'm going to let them out to chase that stupid squirrel, who will, of course, get away like he does every time. But I will let them out to go ahead and do that. And with that, I say to you guys, I hope I've inspired you to grow the gratitude in your life. Take some time to consciously sit down and think about the things that got you through this week, the good things that got you through all the challenges. And they may be small, but go looking for them, and spend some time really consciously and if not publicly, out loud acknowledging their existence, because it really does help to keep you motivated. I promise. Even though my back is killing me right now, I feel a lot better about sitting down to write the rest of today than I did before I started gratitude. And so I hope you have a similar experience. Go to a journal, go out into the woods, go into our Facebook group, wherever you feel like is your spot to really very be in touch with those things, where you can really hear yourself and you can be accountable for them. In any case, that is it for gratitude today. With the rest of your day, after you do your gratitudes, make sure you get out there and seek joy, create joy, and share joy, all the joys. And don't forget that this Wednesday coming up, I am doing a free webinar, which is the intro webinar to the course Self-Defined Living. This one is called Creating a Life You Don't Need a Vacation From. And that is free this Wednesday. If you head to my website, you can go ahead and sign up for that. Following that, of course, the course itself begins on February 9th. Registration is open for that right now. There will be some scholarship seats, so if you need that, please make sure to email me. And then lastly, toward the end of February, we will be doing the seminar series has returned. So the SDL seminar series will return with Tackling Transitions. That is going to be the topic for the end of February, for February's seminar. So please make sure you get on the registration for that. It is also open and on the website. Website is down below, as is my email. I will see you guys out and about on the interweb. And of course, I will be back here on Wednesday with the next Being Back Alive, and then next Sunday with the next Growing Gratitude. Bye, guys. Have a good rest of your day.